We're back with another Marvel Legends UK action figure review. Today we are going to be looking at Marvel's Guardian, also known as Vindicator, from the Wendigo Build-A-Figure Wave. Fourth review from the Wendigo Wave. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel's Guardian. I've known him as the Vindicator. The fourth action figure from the wave with the fourth Build-A-Figure piece. This guy comes with the Wendigo chest and the tail. After reviewing the Cannonball figure, there is no reason whatsoever why they couldn't pack him in with some legs after seeing what this guy comes with in the actual box itself. For the wave, you're going to need 6 figures in order to complete the Wendigo. We've already reviewed Mr. Sinister, Nightcrawler, Cannonball, and now we're going to look at the Vindicator, also known as Marvel's Guardian. We're going to break him out of the pack, have a look at his detail, have a look at the articulation, and see how he scales against the other figures from the wave. So here we have Marvel's Guardian out of the packaging, and first impressions is a decent figure. I don't think he's going to be that popular with many X-Men collectors, if I'm honest, unless you've got the Puck and the Sasquatch. This guy, especially in the UK, will probably be a bit of a peg warmer. The white on the figure isn't actually white. I don't know if the camera will actually pick it up, but it's more of a pearlescent white, which we got on the more recent Quicksilver. It's a bit of a finish. And if you remember when this guy was first announced, this red was more of a cherry metallic red. It looked like they've changed the paint apps to match the comic more accurately. A few people have had a couple of issues with that, saying that the original prototype of the original images that were flying around looked a lot better. Albeit Hasbro seemed to be sticking with the colour theme and the colour code of the comics and giving us a more accurate representation of the figures, the characters that these figures seem to be inspired by. Just looking overall at the aesthetics of the figure, he is a standard generic Marvel Legend done on the original book. A couple of joints do feel a little bit loose on mine, specifically the left leg, and on the figure as well on the back, got a couple of knobbly pieces of plastic, which maybe when they've come out of the mould, they've been caught. Overall, the paint decor looks fine. I don't think I've got any too bad of a paint blemish on the figure anywhere. Lines are painted pretty straight. The red on the white, you can only see it really up close. There you go, perfect paint lines on that one. There is a bit of a paint imperfection here, but obviously that's because the leg's done on a joint. So you was always going to get that. And then obviously I've just noticed that when you do tilt him back, he's not painted all the way up. So when you arc the back as far as it will go, it isn't painted all the way through. But I'm not going to pose the figure like that, so that's no, I mean it does. If you arch the figure back a little bit, you can't really see the paint imperfection or the lack of paint underneath the torso piece there. Similarly on the back, there's a small break, but again, not too noticeable, so I'm really happy with that. The actual face sculpt, again, I've seen some people have issues with this. I really like it. What we're seeing now from Hasbro is they tend to be moving away from the generic relaxed look and going for more an expressionate face. So, like we've seen with Cannonball with the gurning effect. Nightcrawlers come with 3 different heads. It's always great to have alternative head swaps. With this guy, because of what he actually came packaged with in terms of the Wendigo Build-A-Figure pieces, it might have been asking a little bit too much to give him an alternative head sculpt. Just going on to Wendigo Build-A-Figure pieces, like I said, we come with the torso, which first glimpse looks like it's a reuse of the Sasquatch. So that's nice. We've got a couple of rubber pieces there which have been added to it, and then it would come with the rubbery flexible tail. So we will be reviewing the Wendigo at the end of the wave, and we'll be comparing him as well to the original Wendigo figure, as I do have that as well. But moving back to Alpha Flight's Guardian or Vindicator, standard articulation on the figure. I'm not going to go through it in depth, as you already know how these operate, but we've got an overextended 90-degree elbow, we've got double jointed knees, which do go back that far. We've got the general ankle rock and ankle pivot. We do have a cut at the boot as well. And in terms of his head, because I don't know if you are familiar with Guardian, he can actually fly, so it's always good to have a figure that can actually look up when he is in a flying stance as well. I think that's where Marvel can sometimes, Hasbro even, let themselves down when they do a flying figure, which can actually recreate into a flying pose. So that's pretty cool. What I'm going to do now is pop him next to a couple of his Alpha Flight buddies and compare him in terms of size. So here's the Guardian next to a couple of his Alpha Flight buddies. As you can see, he scales really well. He's a generic 6-inch action figure. Now that they're starting to flesh out this team, I'm really excited to see more of these characters added. I'm pretty sure we'll probably get maybe a 2-pack of the Aurora and North Star, and maybe a reissue of Puck, as we've seen the last 24 hours, because as I'm filming this, San Diego Comic-Con 19 is actually going on. We've just seen the reuse or reissue of the Build-A-Figure Hitmonkey. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a reissue with Puck at some stage, maybe alongside another figure. I can't see him doing him as a Build-A-Figure just because of the sheer size. Obviously, I think Marvel and Hasbro have moved away from the smaller Build-A-Figures and they've gone to more the monster look. So it'll be interesting to see how Puck is packed if they do a reissue of him. I'm pretty sure they will, considering that we've since had the Sasquatch and the Guardian as well. So that was my quick overview of the Marvel Legends, Marvel's Guardian, also known as Vindicator. For me, it was a must pick up. I've got Canadian family members. And also I wanted to flesh out the Alpha Flight team. So for me, really decent figure, but my instinct says that he's not going to be very wanted within the UK. Could be a little bit different over in America, but obviously being Captain Canada like he is as well, I'm pretty sure he'll do pretty well over there in terms of sales. So yeah, that is my review of the Marvel's Guardian. Thanks very much for tuning in. Stay safe. Keep collecting.